Imagine waking up to sirens in the middle of the night, phones buzzing with emergency alerts, news spreading everywhere. What if the conflict between Iran and Israel suddenly escalates into something much bigger? Not just a few attacks, but a war that keeps growing. For millions of civilians living in the region, this question isn't just political, it's personal. For people watching the news, war often looks like maps and headlines, but for civilians, it's something very different. It's the sound of explosions far away. It's wondering if schools will open tomorrow. It's families trying to figure out if they should stay or leave. The Middle East is one of the most complex regions in the world. Countries, alliances, and rivalries are deeply connected. If a conflict grows larger, it rarely stays between just two sides. History shows that wars in this region often pull in other countries. If tensions continue rising, the first impact would almost always be felt by civilians. Cities could experience air raid sirens, people might rush to shelters, and daily life could suddenly feel unpredictable. Another major concern during an escalating conflict is infrastructure. Power stations, internet networks, transportation. If these systems are disrupted, life becomes much harder even for people far from the fighting. In times of war, supply chains can become fragile. Food deliveries may slow down. Stores might struggle to restock. Even simple things like bread or clean water can suddenly become more difficult to find. When conflicts grow more intense, some families decide to evacuate, packing only what they can carry, leaving homes they have lived in for years. For many people, the hardest part isn't the journey, it's not knowing when they might come back. Children often experience wars very differently. They may not understand politics or military strategy. They only know their routines have changed, schools close, parks become quiet, and normal childhood moments suddenly disappear. In modern conflicts, information spreads faster than ever. Social media fills with videos, opinions, and breaking news. But during chaotic moments, not every story is accurate. For civilians, knowing what is real can become surprisingly difficult. War doesn't only affect the battlefield, it also affects economies. Oil prices may rise, trade routes can slow down, and markets around the world might react quickly to uncertainty. When conflicts grow larger, the first invisible shock often hits supply chains. Ships may avoid risky sea routes, cargo flights can change direction, insurance costs for transport start rising quickly, businesses suddenly face delays they never planned for. For everyday people, the effect shows up quietly. Store shelves refill slower, certain products become harder to find. Prices begin creeping upward. What once felt like a normal shopping trip can slowly turn into a search for basic goods that used to be everywhere. Energy markets react very quickly to uncertainty. When tensions rise near important shipping routes, traders begin expecting possible disruptions. Oil and gas prices can jump within hours. That change doesn't stay inside financial markets. It spreads into transportation costs, electricity bills, and production expenses. Factories may spend more to operate machines. Delivery trucks may cost more to run. Over time, these increases quietly move through the economy, eventually reaching the everyday consumer in the form of higher prices. Financial markets tend to react quickly whenever uncertainty grows. Investors start asking difficult questions. Will supply routes change? Will energy prices rise further? Could global trade slow down? Because markets are built on expectations, even the possibility of disruption can move billions of dollars in minutes. Stock prices may swing. Commodity prices may surge. Currency values can shift. For many people, these changes feel distant. But the ripple effects eventually reach jobs, businesses, and household budgets. Transportation is the hidden backbone of modern economies. Nearly everything people buy has traveled a long distance before reaching the store. If fuel prices rise or shipping routes become longer, transportation becomes more expensive. Trucks, cargo ships, and airplanes all need energy to move. When those costs increase, businesses must decide whether to absorb the loss or raise prices. Most of the time, those extra costs eventually appear on the price tag that customers see. During times of instability, companies that move goods across the world face another challenge: risk. Shipping companies rely heavily on insurance. If a region becomes unpredictable, insurance costs can rise dramatically. This makes every shipment more expensive before it even leaves the port. Businesses that rely on global trade must then adjust their pricing or find alternative routes. These adjustments ripple through supply chains and influence how affordable products remain for consumers. Currencies often move when global uncertainty increases. Investors shift money between different economies looking for stability. When this happens, exchange rates can fluctuate quickly. For international businesses, this creates both risk and opportunity. Importing goods may suddenly become more expensive. Exporting products may become more competitive. These movements may sound technical, but they influence everything from tourism prices to the cost of electronics and food imported from other countries. Businesses thrive on predictability. Companies invest, hire workers, and expand when they feel confident about the future. But during uncertain global events, many organizations become cautious. Large projects may pause. Hiring decisions may slow down. Investors may delay new funding. This hesitation can ripple across industries. When businesses move carefully, economic growth can slow. For individuals, that sometimes means fewer opportunities or slower wage growth in the months that follow. Economic confidence plays a powerful role in everyday spending. When people feel secure about the future, they tend to spend more freely. But when uncertainty grows, many households become cautious. Families may postpone large purchases. Vacations might be delayed. Businesses that depend on consumer spending may notice fewer customers. In a connected world, distant events can quietly influence prices, jobs, and economic stability far away.